Hello everybody, I am Mr. Huebner and I'm ready to show you how to name basic alkanes. So we're not going to get into alkene or alkyne naming. We're just focusing on alkanes, which is a saturated hydrocarbon. Here is an example of an alkane. Remember how it's all surrounded, every carbon, by hydrogens. There's no double bonds being an alkene or triple bond being an alkyne. Just an alkane, single bonds. And it gets really cumbersome writing all those H's. So chemists have come up with a shorthand called the line angle formula. And what that is it's getting rid of the H's, making it simple. And each corner is a carbon, and each endpoint is also a carbon. So this is a carbon representing right here, and there must be 4 bonds for a carbon. So if this is connected to another carbon right there, which is this one, then that's 1 bond. So therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 3 hydrogens. 1, 2, 3. And this one is bonded to a carbon, and a carbon. That's 3 carbons. 1 more would be 4. So, and there it is, the hydrogen, 1 hydrogen. And this is a carbon attached to a carbon. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's got 3 hydrogens. And same here, we got 1 carbon, and so it's got to be attached to 2 hydrogens, and so on. So when we name organic molecules, there's a few rules we have to follow, and the first rule is we name the longest chain first. So like right here is a chain of just 1 carbon hanging off. Okay, we got 1. But then here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons, or 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. You could also say there's a chain of 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to keep it simple, I'm going to pick this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the longest chain. If I do this chain right here, it's going to, in the end, turn out to be the same thing, just looking at it from a different angle. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. But I could also count it the other way and say 1, 2, 3, 4. The rule is I need to number this so that my numbers are the lowest possible. So make sure your numbers are lowest possible. Okay, so that would mean this side chain, I'm going to have to name it, is going to be a 2. I'm going to count left to right because that's lower than right to left being a 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to remember 1 carbon is meth, 2 carbons eth, 3 carbons prop, 4 carbon butane. So this is a butane. So that is my ending, butane. But I do have what's called a an alkyl group. So an alkyl is a side chain, and it's the same homologous series. You got methyl, you got ethyl, propyl, butyl, and so on. So instead of methane, ethane, propane, butane, I'm changing the ane to il. Il means alkyl chain, side chain, and it's a YL, il. So this is going to be a 2 because I'm on the second carbon, and there's just 1 carbon hanging off, which is methane, but since it's a side chain, it's an alkyl chain, I'm going to call it methyl. And it's continuous, 1 word. I only need a dash if I am separating a number from a letter. I would need a comma if I'm separating a number from a number, which we'll get into in a later example. So my name for this is 2-methyl-butane. Methyl, second carbon, butane. And again, this line angle formula is the same as this. I work with line angle formulas more because it's way simpler. I get lost in all the H's. Alright, let's do something a little bit harder, like this one. Alright, a lot of H's. I'm going to follow this one where I got carbon, 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 and I got all the H's that are implied. Longest chain is first thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it doesn't matter which way I do for that. It's going to end up being the same. So I'm just going to keep it simple and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could count it right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a methyl group and I've got an ethyl group. 1 carbon, 2 carbons. So I've got 2 and 3, or I could say 3 and 4. Which is the lowest number? That's correct. 2 and 3. But before we do that, let's figure out this long chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got methane, ethane, propane, butane, and pentane. Like pentagon, 5-sided, 5 carbons. So this is going to be, I'm going to start in the back here because I'm going to need room for space. So this is a pentane, and we said 2 and 3 is lower than 4 and 3. So we're going to be, those are our numbers. But then we have 2 alkyl chains, 2 side chains. We got a methyl and we got an ethyl. YL is the alkyl side chain nomenclature. So then I got to do alphabetical order. And I got ethyl, methyl, I believe E comes before M. So I'm going to talk about my ethyl first. And it's on the 3rd carbon, so I'm going to write 3 ethyl. And I got to have a dash between a letter and a number because I got another number coming up, 2. And we said that this was methane or methyl. And we've got 3 ethyl, 2 methyl, pentane would be the name of that molecule. All right, you having fun yet? No? Okay, well, let's have this one. I saved the best for last. All right. And if you were enjoying the last two, this is going to be even more fun. So look at all of this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like 6. So I'm going to count that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could also count it the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 hexane. All right, so I'm going to put hexane over there because I got methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane for 6. And let's see, I've got 4, 3, and 2, or I've got 2, 4, and 5. So 4, 3, and 2, or 3, 4, and 5. I believe it's the 2, 3, and 4, the 4, 3, and 2. So those are the numbering that we are going to follow. And let's see, oh, we got methyl, methyl, and we got 1, 2, ethyl. And we say E comes before N, so we're going to start with ethyl. That's 4, 4, ethyl. And then we've got 3. Oop, I'm messing up my counting. I'm going to cross these out because we're not using those anymore. And this is actually 3 ethyl. Sorry about that. We got 3 ethyl. And we're dealing with methyl, methyl, but it's on the 2 and the 4. So we got to do 2, 4. Remember I said that a dash is for between a number and a letter, and a comma is for separating 2 numbers. So we have 2 methyls, so we got to show which number carbons those methyls are found on. And so that's 2, 4, and since there's 2 of them, we got to say di. If there was 3 methyls, we'd say tri, and so on. So this is dimethyl hexane. So this long molecule is called 3-ethyl 2,4-dimethyl hexane. And that's some basic organic nomenclature. It gets way, way, way more fun, way more intense when we start adding more functional groups. But if you want to do that, you're going to have to take AP or IB chemistry. And that's it for today.